Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2024 Ford Bronco Heritage Edition. This model's finished off in race red with all of the white accents, and the MSRP start right around $48,000. It can quickly climb to the mid $50,000 range, just depending on the additional options that you go with. Now this Bronco is powered by the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6 that is paired to a 10-speed automatic. This model also has the optional engine heater that you can plug into over on that one side, which is nice to see. This engine pumps out 330 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque. It's sent to the rear wheels. This also has the four-wheel drive system. 0 to 60 is going to be right around 6 seconds. And as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking right around 18 miles per gallon in the city and 20 out on the highway. Now the Heritage Edition also comes with the Sasquatch package. So you'll notice that we do have the larger tires for this truck. It also comes with the white that you'll see up front, along with the red letters, which is a really cool color contrast. This has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, along with LED fog lights in that steel front bumper there. There's also a sensor up front, along with some grille shutters and a lot of inlets to provide a lot of cooling to this engine. There's tow hooks up front, there's a steel skid plate underneath, and then we do have some accessory points on the hood. There's one on both sides at the front, as well as the ones at the top of the windshield. Now this particular model has the factory roof rack there, so it utilizes those accessory points up front. And then there's some nice bulges in the back of the hood there. That Sasquatch package provides it with these 35-inch tires, along with the 17-inch white wheels, which is a part of that Heritage Edition. This has almost 12 inches of ground clearance with those tires too. And then we have the very nice fender arches. There's the Bronco letters, along with more white for that pinstripe there. This truck does have an aftermarket set of mud flaps too. We have the factory side steps. Now with these side mirrors, these are actually fixed to the base of the hood there. So that way when you open the door, they are not connected. So we have a pillarless door as well as a windowless or side mirrorless door. So that way it makes it much easier to transport, take them off, as well as store them too. You'll notice that entire 4-piece hardtop is finished off in white. And then we have some nice lines that run down the side too. Now in back, full-size spare with that backup camera, steel rear bumper. This can tow right around 3,500 pounds with that factory installed hitch. And we do have remote start. It fires up very quickly. And you can use that control to shut it off as well. There's another tow hook on this left side, and then you can actually lock and unlock it with this back door handle. Now, with that full-size spare and the shock down below, it's very easy to open up that swing gate there. From there, we can open up the rest of the glass. And then being an SUV, you still get a practical amount of space. So we do have a good bit of an area here. There's a storage bin there. This is where you can put these electronics when you take the back cargo roof off. So you can store it right there. And then this particular Heritage Edition has this factory installed slide out tray. You can hold 400 or 500 pounds on this, and you can use it if you need to gain access to the roof rack there, you're tailgating, you need to place some items here, or set them on there and then roll this back into place. So pretty cool to see how slim that is. The owner of this Bronco also mountain bikes, so he has made this here to put his mountain bike in the back with the seats down. It fits well. You might be able to fit 2 in there if you finagle them right, but pretty nice to see that you can fit in a full-size adult mountain bike and take it with you. Now also underneath this floor, you can lift this entire panel up where you still have access to this bin right here, as well as your tool kit. So like you would see in most other Broncos, and we have the factory hooks there where you can place some items and strap them down. So pretty versatile for its size. And then as we work our way to the back seats, door panels are pretty simple since you can take the door off. There's not much that you need. There's a storage net, grab handle, and release handle. There's also a lift handle underneath, so that way you have an area to grab. We have the electronics, and then there's 2 bolts to remove for every door to take them off. This has the plaid cloth seats with a nice design, and we do have an aftermarket set for the grab handle there. There's also the factory installed handles that you can use too. So there's storage pockets behind the seats. We have window adjustments along with some auxiliaries. And this model also has the insulation for the top, just to make it a little bit quieter. We have cup holders in the back and a good bit of visibility. It's pretty open feeling. It's not all that bad for someone of my height in the back. So pretty spacious for its sizing. Up front, you'll notice the door panel is very identical to the rear. However, we have lock and unlock for up front. Now, these front seats are manual adjusting, so we have all those controls to go through that. And then if we start this back up, we can go over the rest of this tech. So we have a nice design for the steering wheel with all of the red stitching. On this left side, there's all of your cruise control adjustments, lane keeping assist, and volume. Right side, you get tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands, and then you have these controls to go through this. So on the right side, this is currently my view. So all of these have been pre-selected with the information that needs to be seen the most. But you can also expand this view and go into some more information. So depending on what you'd like to see, you can either set it up in my view or you can go through it in the larger screen here to view all of this information. And then on the left side, you have miles per hour, your RPM, fuel level, as well as the lane keeping assist. And then you also have engine temperature and miles per hour on that far left side. There's your headlight, fog light adjustments, dimmer switches, as well as the e-brake. One air vent is tucked away on that left side. And then there's also some storage up on the dash where you can place some items. There's also an area where you can place attachments. So the owner wants to get an attachment here where he can place his phone right about here or so and have that right up on the dash there. There's also some more controls here for your hazards, your traction control, trail turn assist, and then front and rear lockers. Now, the Heritage Edition also gives you all the white and red accents that you will notice throughout this interior. And then with this massive screen, it's pretty easy to go through. Everything in the lower section is fixed, so you can always get to all of this information, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of these different settings, and you have some features too. And then you can also go through info on this right side while you have info on the left side there. So it's nice to have that split style. Now there's volume and tuning. You have the engine start stop along with some other audio adjustments. Your temperature dials for your driver and passenger, heated seats, fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. Everything's laid out very well. There's also additional storage down below with an auxiliary. You get a grab handle for your passenger, Bronco logo right in front of that. There's two cup holders. And then with this in reverse, you do get two different angles. So depending on the visibility that you need, and you do have the manual setting. So you can use plus and minus if you need to. Now there's all of your four-wheel drive selectors along with your cruise control for off-road. And we have the GOAT modes. So for this particular model, we do have 4 on-road modes, and then there's 2 off-road modes. Now it will automatically put the vehicle into the four-wheel drive setting that it selects, or of course you can mess with that yourself depending on the terrain that you're on. Now we have the window controls, side mirror adjustments, a lockable center armrest where you can place in some items as needed. And then there's even the lockable glove box along with your toolkit to take the doors and the roof off. So you have all of this here that you need with all the tools, and you have some zipped areas where you can place all of those bolts as needed. Up top, we have your rear view mirror along with all of these factory auxiliaries. So if you want to hook up compressors, exterior lights, you have an area to do that. And then with the hardtop, you have 4 latches on both front panels. There's also 4 or 5 for this one, and then you have the entire cargo area of the roof to take off. So it's not all that hard to do. And then a look at visibility over both shoulders. It's pretty boxy, pretty large windows, so it's pretty easy to see all around. And switching ankles now, we'll give it a slight acceleration. Still a brand new vehicle, but like I said, I've been in the Broncos before. With the 2.7 liter, this is a great engine option to go with. It has plenty of power and torque to get up to speed. So I have no issues with that. I've even been in the smaller 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, which I think is adequate, but I would go with this engine unless you're getting the Raptor where you get the 3 liter, which is a little bit larger, of course. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the Ford Bronco Really cool spot to be. I like the forward visibility that you have, small pillars up front, steep rake for that windshield, so it definitely gives it more of a boxy feel, but this drives very nice, very smooth for the type of SUV that it is. And with these larger 35-inch tires, obviously since they're from the factory, there's really not much tire noise. They're not mud grappler type of tires. A nice all-terrain tire, obviously, that a factory would put on a vehicle. So even with this factory tire, factory size of being larger, it's very nice. And that's one thing also that the owner of this vehicle likes, that you can buy this from the factory with a warranty like this, having the tires, the lift, or everything like that. So if you're in the market for a vehicle where you don't necessarily want to do a lot of modifications to it, or you want a little bit more peace of mind that you can buy a vehicle like this with that factory warranty, it is a great option to go with something like this. So you can just buy it from the dealer straight off the lot, take it home, and that is it, and you're ready to go. So a lot of people like that aspect to it, that everything is covered since you buy it from the factory as is. But this is great. I'm not taking the roof or anything off today. We have several videos showing how to do that and what it's like, but I thoroughly enjoy it. With the Bronco that I had last week, taking the doors off and just experiencing that open experience in the SUV, it's definitely something that adds to that fun factor for the Ford Bronco. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Bronco Heritage Edition. Once again, huge shout out to the owner for letting me check out the Heritage Edition. It's something a little bit more unique, a little bit more on that rare side. And then you have the Heritage Limited, which they're only producing less than 2,000 for that unit. So we have something a little bit more rare. But if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.